What's up, everybody? Welcome. It is Tuesday night. NFL rosters became semi-official earlier today. We are live on YouTube and in your podcast feed as well. With me tonight is producer Connor Collins, who has been grinding away on the waiver wire because Connor is a hardcore football guy. Connor, have you written anything lately at Joko Show Substack?
Tomorrow, Brock Purdy season preview will be coming out. So predictions and talking about he's got to earn that contract. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that.
Should Connor make his own video and put it up on the channel? That from the article,
I could.
What do you think about that? I like that idea. All right, so love that. It's always great to have Connor here when he has time to jump in. And we got a 53-man roster. You know, I'm excited about the week, the next 2 weeks, the next few weeks. You know, somebody asked me the other day when I was at Niner practice if I was watching the Niners, if I was paying attention any differently to the Niners because I was calling the preseason games on TV. And the answer was yes. The answer was yes. I mean, normally, you know, the roster cutdown day does not involve me really following the back end of the roster. You know, my podcast and YouTube role historically has not been beat writer, hardcore back of the roster beat writer guy. Although I did grade every throw at a whole training camp.
That's right.
Do not underestimate the internet's ability to argue about Trey Lance anytime, anywhere, any place. Even though anywhere, any place, anybody, anytime, anywhere. That argument can sprout up at a moment's notice. You got to be on your toes. You got to remember your old arguments, be ready to roll. So luckily I graded every throw of a training camp once. But anyway, this year I've followed it much more closely. And I think, you know, the one thing that's clear, and I think I said this on the podcast last week, I can't remember, but by now everybody knows, or at least is aware, the Niners are 11th in the waiver claim order. It's the highest they've been since the Nick Bosa trade, the Nick Bosa draft. That lasts through week 3 of the NFL season, so they'll be 11th. I know where I said it on the last podcast. If you go back and look at 2019 when they were number 2 in the waiver claim order, nothing really interesting happened. So, you know, we'll see. Do with that what you will. But, you know, I think what's far more interesting is who clears waivers, what additional moves do they make? They have to make them, right? Thomas Morstead, the punter, is not on the team. So that's a dead giveaway that they got to get Thomas Morstead back on the team and they got to make some other moves. But I'll just start by talking about whether or not anything was particularly surprising. I think the first thing that surprised me was not something that surprised me on Saturday, but if you had said to me at the beginning of training camp, will Jair Brown be playing special teams deep into the third preseason game, I would have said no. But that was one of the things that happened. Isaac Guerendo kind of banged up with a shoulder. Would he be playing special teams as the number 2 running back deep into the third preseason game? I thought for sure when his shoulder was bothering him, he was not coming back in that game. He came back into a preseason game with a hurt shoulder. Like, that was crazy. I would not have expected that. So those are 2 guys that clearly, you know, where they once had an opportunity to be, the Brian Robinson addition. But Isaac Guerendo, if there's one thing we know, like, you're running back on a Kyle Shanahan team, you're going to have a shot to earn some of that back. So he'll have that shot to earn some of that back. And Jair Brown, is he playing at the back end of a preseason game on special teams? Yes. But if you're the third safety on an NFL team, on any NFL team, then you're going to have a shot to make it up. Now, I don't really know what he can do to elevate his state with the team. It would be more if a couple other guys fall back. But Jason Pinnock, everybody was saying Chaz Surratt's name wrong, by the way, except for one guy. But Marquise Siegel, got to be careful. Because you're bound to get one wrong, and then everyone rightfully throws it in your face. You can't get them wrong. Can't get them wrong. But, you know, Upton Stout, supposed to be the starting nickel. Hopefully, right? Like, we're a ways away from from really having answers on some of this stuff. But I think you got to be a little encouraged by the way defensive players made immediate impacts last year. Good to see Michael Williams back. And then, I think one of the ones that got everybody's attention, Sebastian Valdez.
Got it.
Sebastian Valdez getting cut. I can't say I'm surprised, the momentum of that first, and he's going to have a chance to come back. I'm rooting for him to be on the 49ers practice squad. Because who knows how long, this is nitty gritty 53-man stuff. How long will Yetur Gross-Matos, is he healthy enough to play will he be between now and week 1 healthy enough to play? And if so, how long will that last? So I'm not surprised though, because if he's healthy enough to give it a shot, you got to give it a shot with him. And I just don't. Alfred Collins, Sam Okuwanu, Robert Beal played well and plays a different position, right, than Sebastian Valdez. He's a pass rusher. Valdez is not an edge rusher. But Evan Anderson, CJ West, Kalia Davis, these are guys that are going to make the team over him. Still, it's just, I think the thing that's gotten everybody's attention is just the volume of big guys. 10 offensive linemen. 10? Yeah, 10, 8, 3, 11 defensive linemen. That's just a lot. It's a lot. And I think it emphasizes, you knew this team was top heavy with its stars, with Kittle, with at some point Ayuk, Pearsall. He's not a star like those guys, but he's part of this team being top heavy. Christian, absolutely the top heaviest of the top heavy. And, I think this roster is not going to be the final roster. That's just, you can see it, but it does kind of highlight how top heavy it is. And then the other there's one other note I wanted to make here before. Junior Bergen. I was arguing with somebody in a text today who thought Junior Bergen made more sense than Sky Moore. Sky Moore had the 3 muffs and 14 returns to start his career as a rookie. He looked good the other day on a windy night. Junior Bergen muffed the 1. That's not to me, it's not that simple, right? Sky Moore was here in part because leading up to that final preseason game, it didn't seem like there was a lot of confidence in Junior Bergen's ability to be like an active 46-man receiver if need be.
Catch balls, yeah.
Yeah, get open first. And so, I know, like my buddy in the text was making it about the muffed punt. And, I don't think it was about that. So, and I don't know. We'll see. That feels like another good practice squad opportunity. Okay, so there's me just rattling through roster minutia for a few minutes. What's on your mind there, Connor?
Yeah, you mentioned the trenches, and we talked this offseason about the 49ers not really doing – they did something on the defensive side, right, with the draft after getting ran through all season long in 2024. But on offensive line, they got Connor Colby late, and that's it. So I guess they're just throwing bodies at it, hoping for depth, and it's a volume game. But it was a little interesting for them to do that with all the injuries at receiver. And also to the Sky Moore point, I think as soon as they traded a pick for Sky Moore, they're going to keep him over Cowing. And also he can catch balls, he can play receiver, which is crazy. The 49ers are at that point of maybe playing Sky Moore early on in the season. Here we are. I think thoughts on the back end. It's a little concerning. The safeties, Pinnock, Siegel, Jair Brown is, I guess, regressing. But what are your thoughts on? I don't know. The safeties, I think, is kind of a concerning bunch.
We haven't seen a lot of. Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of Pinnock. I think it's clear, like he wasn't with Robert Saleh last year, but he was a solid guy brought here to play right away. So fine, Saleh likes him, great. I think safety, I feel a little bit the same as I do linebacker for a rookie. It's a lot going on. That's a lot going on. There's just the chess game is happening between the quarterback, the offensive coordinator, the linebacker, the safety. So it's a lot going on, and it sounds like it's pretty complicated back there. Like this Gus Bradley, Robert Saleh secondary, I think should be really interesting, should be fun, should be difficult for opposing quarterbacks. It'll be interesting to see week 1 with Darnold. The question is, can these guys all kind of play together? Can they play? Because they haven't played together yet, right? I mean, Deommodore Lenoir, Bernardo Green, Upton Stout, Jason Pinnock, and Marquis Siegel has played a total of 0 snaps together in a preseason game, let alone I can't imagine they've played that many snaps together on the practice field because of Stout's injury, Green's injury, Lenoir's injury, Pinnock's injury. The rookie's the only one's been the other rookie. Was Siegel hurt for a second? But I bet if we racked up their practice snaps, a lot of them haven't happened together. That said, to answer your question, I think it can be a pretty good group, actually. I think the Lenoir Green Stout thing, I know he hasn't played. I am a believer. Let me rephrase this. I am the same believer I was 3 weeks ago in Upton Stout. Way back 3 weeks ago when everybody was a believer. It's just harder now. But I'll repeat what I've said. Part of why I believe in him is because I talked to his college coach a few weeks ago, Tyson Helton, who's the head coach at Western Kentucky, who is Clay Helton's brother. Clay Helton, the former USC head coach, who's now the head coach at Georgia Southern, who this week, Connor, Georgia Southern plays at?
It's on the tip of my tongue.
Fresno State. That's
Fresno
right.
State, yes.
Good call.
Yes.
Yep, big night. And he said the reason he believes that Upton Stout can transition quickly to the NFL is because they ran a very complicated defense, a lot of Saban tree stuff, blah, blah, blah. So
that's good.
Anyway, I think it's a good group.
Last thing on the safeties, they have to hold on up until about week 6. Mustafa should return supposedly around that time on the PUP list. Who knows? But if one of those players can take a step and maybe Jair Brown goes back to 2023 form, then Mustafa rolls back in ideally.
Week 6 feels. Let's talk about that for a second. Week 6 feels very early. To me, he got hurt in the season finale. I think the reason week 6 has come up is just because Kyle mentioned, like, you start thinking about those guys between week 6 and week 12. Guys can come back week 4. Like Ayuk could. The reason, part of the reason week 6 really comes up with the 49ers is because week 5 they play a Thursday night game. So a guy probably isn't coming back week 5, even if he's, So, but I think it's gonna. I feel like now that do some Niner games, I have to be like, this is just me talking. Tim Ryan didn't tell me this.
No, that's a good,
So yeah, I don't.
It'll probably be later. No, that's a great point.
I want
kind of forgot
Mustafa about healthy for for depth at the end of the year when you need it, and then fully healthy in 2026.
I think I equated the PUP with I forgot it was like snuck in at the very season. I think I equated that with Brandon Ayuk's injury. And was there.
I'm sure. And doesn't that feel kind of soon? I mean, Ayuk's injury was week 7. Well, maybe it doesn't feel soon. Ayuk's injury was week 7 last year. Now, it wasn't just like Curtis Robinson came back a couple weeks ago. He had an ACL late September last year, but Ayuk's was a little more complicated than that. It
was multiple ligaments. Stephon Diggs, just an ACL. He should be back possibly week 1. So yeah, it is. Who knows on Ayuk's injury?
So I think it's reasonable to say, like, again, I'll be conservative, very conservative with Mustafa. Like, are you targeting hopefully things are going well and you can target the end of November? Bye week 14, late bye. So maybe start start ramping them up. Then Ayuk, I like to do I like to get a little like, you gotta be really thoughtful. Like, all right, where are your grass games? You got to keep them off the turf. But maybe, so like, do you want to bring him back week 9 at the Giants?
No,
probably not.
Should that, given the history
definitely not.
Given the history at MetLife, should the 49ers just roll out the 2s, Mac Jones and the whole team, and just try to beat the Giants with their second string? And
fortunately, I don't think their roster Jackson Dart. I don't think the Niners roster I don't think you can do that. So I'll put me down if we're making. You said you wanted to do some predictions today. Put me down for Week 10, November 9th, against the Rammies.
Okay.
All right. I saw a couple. Invader Niner said, Yetur Gross-Matos physically cleared to play. I don't know if that was a comment on something I said earlier, but this has been such a slow build that I think that they're probably at the point where he's cleared. Let's see what happens. I don't think you can. I don't assume a full season of health is ahead, just because it's been such a weird, nebulous. Like, when is he back? When is he not? Is he back? Is he back? What's going on? So hopefully he can just get through the next few weeks clean and play Week 1, and then we'll see. I think a lot of these injuries. That's the other thing, and I saw Kawakami write this at the SF Standard. The number of guys who are on the 53-man roster, you don't know when they're going to be ready exactly. Jordan Watkins, Jauan Jennings, Jacob Cowing. I'm just looking at the roster as I go through the list. Jordan James coming back from the broken finger. That's 4. I feel like there was another one. But Barch, Barch good to go. I'm not reporting that. I'm just I feel like Kawakami's always like, don't aggregate me. I'm like, like, this is just me talking. The inflexibility they have is they don't have a swing tackle. They got a backup left tackle and a backup right tackle. That's a significant. Oh, Purdy. Purdy's the other one. Like, you don't know when is he gonna be back in time? So it's gonna be tight against pretty Seattle. Physical Seattle
defense
team. Yeah,
whole team. Yeah, they're a Shanahan system now, and McDonald gave Purdy nightmares in 2023 in his best season with the Ravens. So I don't know. Up in Seattle, tough environment. Week 1, it's going to be with a pretty much banged up team already. Rolling into Seattle is going to be a tough one. I heard Puni got good news and trending to start to Week 1. Jauan Jennings, I want to get your thoughts on Jauan Jennings. Will the 49ers make him play? And actually, the thought overall of, I know it's his time to restructure, or not, it's his time to restructure. He can play on his contract that he signed last season. What are your thoughts on this overall? Like, from the team perspective, you just renegotiated, you just signed. But Jauan's perspective is like, look, you guys have no one. He has the leverage now, quote unquote. I am the best player. I had such a good season. It's just the team dynamics versus the player dynamics. But one, do you think Jauan will play? And how do you think that'll all shake out for the 49ers and Jauan?
Yeah, I mean, not to reference Kawakami again, but why not? He did a really good breakdown on his podcast with Barrows about how much of Jauan Jennings' contract, his current contract, is incentive based. So if he wants to just make the money he has, he needs to be available and playing. And that's not just about holding out. That's about injury too. So I don't really see the path for him to not be on the field. Like, how much money do you lose while you're trying to get more? Kawakami is like the way he has talked about it is there's not an appetite to pay him a large amount. He thinks you could, as this is like, it's so clear when you just look at the way their team is built. They got Ayuk, they got Pearsall they're paying. They're not going to, they don't want to pay him Ayuk money or what. I don't know what he's asking for, but there is a clear market where you can, quote unquote, easy for me to say, oh, Parag Marate should just bump him up to 15 million this year. But like, that to me is a reasonable conversation, an understandable conversation. So it's like, is he going to end up with that? Is he going to end up with nothing and just say, forget you guys, I'll play it out, earn the money I've got this year. But then he's got to be motivated to perform because he's got to earn the next contract from somebody else. So,
right.
I think he's got to be on the field. But it's not, it's not pretty. They're it's not pretty.
So in May 29th, 2024, he signed a 2-year, $11.8 million extension. And it's funny how fast these 2-year deals, you try to sit out and renegotiate, and part of it's two-sided coin. Jauan's like, I was there to produce, but the Niners like, look, you just signed your contract, you just signed your extension. So, but yeah, I mean, given that they pulled him off IR, it sounds like he's going to be forced to play almost.
It's not. I mean, I don't see the negotiating leverage, and I have not seen. I saw there was there a Jacoby Myers report? Jacoby Myers, the Raiders' #1 receiver, but it's because of a lack of a #1 receiver on the Raiders. Now they got Amari, but he was a 1,000-yard guy last year. When we went to the Raiders week 2, as I was doing my Raiders prep, someone's like, like one of the Raiders guys was telling me, he's like, well, Jacoby, obviously our #1. I was like, what? It's like, yeah, Jacoby Myers, our #1 receiver. I was like, okay, cool. And you go look at his numbers, he produced. But, somebody said earlier to me, because I said this, I'll say it now, the 49ers were a 6-win team last year. So Jauan Jennings, let's call him a 1,000-yard receiver, but on a 6-win team. And the response I got from somebody was, well, it wasn't his fault. The point is not that it was his fault. It's just he didn't. It's not like his performance carried them to the playoffs. They just don't view it as, I think, understandably, as like the year that needs to be rewarded with 25 or whatever $1 million. And they probably what's he going to get as a free agent? It's not going to. I'd be surprised. It's not going to be that number. Will he have 1,000? Let's say he's fully healthy this year and plays the whole year. Is there a 1,000-yard season in him? I think he's capable of it, but a lot of guys are capable of 1,000-yard seasons if they're the only healthy receiver. That sounds bad because I think he's a really good and useful player. So I don't want to denigrate him because it's not like he's a stud. Like I love Jauan Jennings.
No, he's great, but he went from receiver 3 to receiver 1. So we got lucky in his personal.
Well, somebody's got to be.
Yeah.
Just because somebody is receiver 1 doesn't mean you have a receiver 1.
Yeah.
Like right now, I think Ricky Pearsall's receiver 1. Is he a receiver 1? I don't know. We'll see. I think I think the most realistic is that like Ayuk's kind of a 1B type and Pearsall's like a 2A type, maybe. That's what Ayuk kind of was. Then got paid like a 1B. But if you got a couple 2As and Kittle and McCaffrey, that is plenty. Kittle and McCaffrey and Ayuk healthy and Pearsall's a 2, even if he's like a 2B, if you had Jennings, like that's enough to throw the ball 24 times a game and run the rock and play defense, all that stuff. So anyway, I feel better when that guy's on the field. I know that.
3rd and 1.
Here's the other thing. What if the calf is not? He looked really good in practice before he stopped practicing, by the way. He was dominating.
He was taking over.
As he should have been.
Yeah.
And now Pearsall's been doing that.
Good. That's great. This EB asked, what's a good offer for Jauan Jennings if to be traded? Like you said, what's the market? I mean,
what would you want? What would make you feel good about the funny part about negotiations and then trades is like, oh, I don't want to pay him this much, but you better give me a 3rd for him. But what would you feel good about? Like, I don't feel good about anything less than a 4th. And even that is like, I don't want to trade anybody who I like in August for a pick. I'll trade him before the draft, but I don't want to trade him in August.
Yeah. I mean, a 4th from the Titans, but that could be a 7-win Titan team.
The Browns don't. No, who has the Titans pick? Is it, or do the Titans? Who has 2 1s and one of them's Tennessee's?
Oh, who did Tennessee make the trade with for Cam?
Yeah, it was Cleveland, right?
Cleveland and the Jags for Travis Hunter.
Yeah. That's all right.
But
we don't need to look that up now.
Yeah, the offense with Kittle, McCaffrey, I think, like you mentioned, Pearsall, like Jauan, if with a healthy McCaffrey, this offense changes substantially.
I'm not suggesting they trade for Jacoby Myers, by the way.
Myers would want a new contract too, so
Right.
they would be in the same sort of predicament.
Yeah. Amari's back though.
Full circle.
Boy, I tell you what, rookie Amari out there for the Raiders out of the Coliseum. I remember watching rookie Amari and being like, Greg Papa's favorite thing. He's like, he always talk about like guys' feet. Like, look at his footwork. And I'd be watching guys' footwork. Like, are those quick feet? You know? And then when I saw Amari's feet, I was like, oh, I get it. This must be what young Jerry Rice looked like. That's what I thought. And it turned out it's Jacksonville has all the ones. Okay.
Jacksonville. Yeah. Do you want to get into some 49ers season predictions?
Yeah, let's see here. Any other let me look at, who I didn't mention is all the cuts. Be interesting. Who is their third quarterback? I scanned the list of cut quarterbacks today. Can't say any of them, intrigued me. I'm scanning the list again of I'm trying to think like who would Kyle Shanahan like of the cut QBs. We just saw Sam Ehlinger, Bailey Zappi, Cam Miller, Taylor Heineke, Will Greer, no. Kyle McCord, Sam Hartman. Did Haener get cut? Did the Saints cut Haener?
Yes.
He's got to go back on their practice squad, man. Like the Niners, I saw, because they named Spencer Rattler the starting quarterback. And so someone's like, oh, the Niners are getting Rattler. Like, well, let's get to week 2 first. Well, the Niners play the Saints week 2.
No, yeah.
Like, let's get to week 2.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly, like,
walk and change in NOLA.
Haener, local guy. I'm Fresno and a Fresno State guy, so I'm rooting for Jake big time. I mean, maybe Niners. I think for Jake is like Jake wants to go play, and New Orleans is a place where you gave me an over/under. When would Jake Haener be playing if he was the Saints practice squad quarterback? I'd say, this year for sure. Like Tyler Shuck, people want to see him. Another easy guy to root for. A ton of injury history. And so anyway, Brett Rippon. Hold on, let me look. Any more court? Danucci, Jack Plummer. Yep. There's Haener, Clayton, Dresser, Wynn, Carter Bradley. Blah blah blah. Ooh, Damian Martinez got cut. Running back for the Seahawks. All right. Let's see what we got.
Right.
What? What did you just say?
There was just one about a high school quarterback.
Ryder Lyons.
Already better. He has a YouTube. He has a documentary series.
Well, that guy is blowing, bro. Maybe you watched it and somehow our algorithm is connected because I saw it yesterday. So Ryder Lyons he's at Folsom High School out where you are?
Folsom High School. Yeah.
He's like the number 5. Some people say number 1, but he's like a consensus top 5 quarterback in the country. He's going to BYU, right?
Yes. He's doing a mission. He's going to end in December, do a mission, and then 1-year mission.
Okay. His brother, Walker Lyons, was like a big-time tight end who's at USC right now. So explain it. What is going on? Is that Ryder Lyons YouTube channel I stumbled across on Monday night? Is that somebody else? Some dude is making videos of just like, it's like high school, but they're really good. And they're doing, 6-figure views, like in days.
I clicked on it because I was like, what is this? So, and we'll get to this question here, but I want to hear your thoughts on this question. But yeah, it was NIL, I think, went from college to high school, top high school players, because now I think they're monetizing YouTube clicks, and I'm sure he's doing some advertising, but it seems like someone's creating a documentary of him. He's mic'd up during games, high school football, that is.
He's mic'd up.
Just bizarre. I mean, they're a top team in California, but it's still, he's a top recruit, but yeah.
Folsom's like the Northern California powerhouse, them and De La Salle.
Yeah.
And I did see. That's what I saw. Is some video. Folsom played some. Who'd they play? Oh, it was Grant. There was a lot of Grant. Really good, like historically really good public school in Sacramento.
Yeah.
Right. Football program.
Yep.
And there was that the clip I saw where there's a bunch of shit talking and then Folsom blew their doors off?
Yes.
Nick in the Cuts. Is that the YouTube channel? Is that the filmmaker? Yeah.
Yep.
You just put that up.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is so funny you brought this up because I just stumbled across it on Monday night for some reason.
Well, it's hitting the algorithm, I guess, everywhere in NorCal, supposedly.
Yeah, just football, hardcore football guys.
Yeah. Wait, before super chat here from Eric Hintz. Guy, what are your honest thoughts on Moody?
I was concerned, his warm up. I said this the other day, so I don't want to repeat myself. I mean, it is my job if I'm calling the game to understand like what is happening, right? So when people are booing him and then they're cheering, but it's like sarcastic, and so I didn't say they're cheering. I said gets a reaction. It's also my job to accurately convey the weather. And I said it the other day, and people made fun of me, and I'm going to get made fun of again. I get it. I get it. I watched the warm-up. The wind was an issue. Now, it was an issue for Sky Moore. It was an issue for Junior Bergen and for Luke Grimm on 2 returns, or maybe it was the wind. I don't know.
Yeah.
Now, like the kicker's got to be able to negotiate to figure it out. That's right. What Robbie Gould does. I just hope that, first of all, I do really sincerely root for him, because we see this all the time with kickers where it's like they get under this avalanche at one place and they got to go somewhere else, and they go somewhere else and it's like fine. It happens all the time with young kickers.
Fresh start.
I hope that, I don't want that to happen with him because I'm rooting for him. But like it's clear their Brant Boyer was brought in to fix the special teams, and there's only so much a special teams coach can do if his kicker's missing kicks or kicking it out of bounds. But he's their guy. Like, he's the guy right now, and it's going to take missed kicks in regular season games. That's the other thing I would say is, I wanted Greg Joseph, but like that's if that's the opinion. Go back and look at Greg. Greg Joseph missed 4 of 20 extra. He missed 1 out of every 5 extra points last year. Like missing 4 out of 20 extra points, a lot of misses on extra points. So I think part of why Moody still has the job is because, as is often the case, a kicker, there aren't like the other options out there always just sound great in theory because they're different, but they're not necessarily better options. I don't understand. Yeah.
Chase McLaughlin or whatever in 2019 for the 49ers. It was a new kick. I think he replaced Robbie Gould. Can he just make a short kick? And he missed it. Like you're saying, grass isn't always greener on the other side with kickers.
But also it's like sometimes
that is
what happens.
How many weeks does Jake Moody last? Does he go the full season? Is he 8 weeks? First prediction.
So I'm hot right now on bold predictions because the other night somebody asked me how many picks for the Niners in that preseason game between Mordecai and Bradley, and I said 0.
Okay.
And everyone else had numbers. I'm going to go full season.
Full season.
Put me down for full season.
17 games at minimum. All right. Full season. You heard it. Clip that.
Yeah, clip that. I just look at some comments here. Okay, what else we got? Oh, you just started. You put this up. Did you start this last chat or did I? How do we feel about
I did not.
Okay. We'll leave that. We'll leave that there then.
I don't know.
I'll wait for Barrows or Mayoko or Lombardi to Grant to report that one. Okay, what else you got?
All right. Well, I guess an overall question on, let's just start general with Brock Purdy, and then we'll can get into maybe some numbers that Vegas has, and want to hear your thoughts on those. But Brock Purdy's paid now, so his game must elevate, and he has a chance to sort of silence some haters, in that doesn't have all the help in the world to start the season. What are the expectations? Like, how high has that expectation raised in your mind?
I don't think to me, it's just like I've seen what it looks like when it's all clicking, which is 2023. So I want that.
Okay.
Like, I don't think that's a raised expectation. Just, I believe that he can. I believe that he can win. I've said that before. And it doesn't mean that every question's answered. It's still fair to ask plenty of questions and be like, what is he? The whole tier, like we saw it. We look at it when you see the tiers. You look at it with the fact he's not in the NFL 100. Who did I just saw somebody really high in the NFL 100. That was like, maybe it was Hurts, but yeah, like, to me, the expectation is not be something different than he's already been. It's like, I've seen it in 23. Like, hopefully this team's healthy and you got Trenton.
Yeah.
And like, you can do, but I do think he can do that again. Now, look, when he did it in 23, there were still plenty of people arguing about him. Is it him? Is it the Avengers? Blah, dot. But that's fine. Like, give me the guy that everyone's arguing whether or not he's like, oh, he's not really him. Like, that's fine.
Right.
It doesn't matter. Like, he can do that. Yeah. He can do that.
Okay. So that being said, his over-under, according to DraftKings, is 3,800 receiving yards, 3,800.5 receiving yards for Brock Purdy. So last season, he had 3,864. In 2023, he had 4,200 passing yards. I might have said receiving yards. Passing yards for Brock Purdy.
Wait, over, the number is under, last year's number, basically? Yeah, over.
Isn't it? Okay. Touchdown.
Now, I mean, they push the ball, but yeah, over.
Okay. Touchdowns thrown, 23.5.
Over.
Okay. As a team for the 49ers. Oh.
As a team. Thank you for super chat.
For the 49ers. So with Christian McCaffrey, hopefully healthy. Brian Robinson,
he's healthy.
All season. Robinson and Purdy's legs. Over under 2,300 rushing yards. And now when the Niners are in the top 10 in rushing yards, they make NFC championship games. 2022, they had 2,360. 2023, 2,389. And last year, 2,163. Do they get past the 2,300 rushing yards as a team?
Where'd you say they were last year?
2,163. 2,163 which ranked 12th.
Wow. I mean, what are we, 22 straight years of the NFC Championship game or missing the playoffs?
Correct.
That's an insane stat that gets crazy. That does not get the attention it deserves. That's insane.
It is. Well, like, they're due. Yeah.
They're just due to losing the wild card round. Like, oh, please. 23, and last year 21 was over.
Last year was 20.
Yeah. I'll go. So what would that add up to? That total? I'm looking at their total yardage. I mean, I don't. Yeah, sure. I'll go.
We're just going over. We're hitting overs.
No. I'll go under, but I'm not married to that one.
On that note, Brian Robinson Jr.
Okay.
Short yardage guy. Usage. Do they run out 31 personnel with Christian McCaffrey as an H-back slot with Juszczyk in there? How hope that'll be sweet.
Yeah, I mean, could you go three tights with Juice, kind of like Juice as the third tight end, plus Robinson, plus McCaffrey?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Now McCaffrey's split out wide. He can run a route. Robinson in the backfield.
Yeah.
There's
No,
3,000
McCaffrey attached.
Yeah. That could be fun, but do you think Robinson gets used every year? The Niners, we talk about CMC. Is it just all go CMC usage, or does Robinson actually get used?
I think he gets used.
Okay.
I think he gets used. The magic to it all is always like, how quickly does Kyle Shanahan trust his ability to block and protect the football? To protect.
Yeah.
The quarterback and protect the football. But I think he's getting used.
Yeah, that's
because would you want to replace some quarterback sneaks with him?
Totally.
After watching Tanner Mordecai get hurt?
Totally.
Brock's gotten good at it, but Brock got hurt on the QB sneak. It's already happened. Is that the Minnesota game?
Yeah, concussed.
Yeah. I would prefer to not. I don't know why teams don't, in obvious sneak situations, why don't we practice the center snapping it to a running back? It's so foreign that you're going to fumble it, is probably the answer to that. But
the Chiefs will roll the tight end down to do the sneak. They'll motion over, and I think Juszczyk has done that multiple times.
Is it Noah Gray that does it?
Yeah, Kyle Juszczyk has done that.
Yeah, and with I don't think great success, or am I wrong? Juice will tell me.
Not entirely.
How about that? Sure. Have we retired the Trent Williams in motion? Is that coming back, or did they run that at all last year? Not that I remember.
I feel like it's retired. I feel like it exists just for that slow motion video on Twitter. Just to so Kyle Shanahan can watch it and read the comments. Okay, another over under. Let's flip to defense.
All right, let's
Nick Bosa.
Yeah,
last one.
The player props.
Okay.
All right.
Does Nick Bosa get over 10.5 sacks? He was at 9 last year, 10.5 the year before, 18.5 year prior. So this is pivotal.
I think you're playing with the lead more. And here's the other thing. There's been like this. It started out with everybody feeling so good about the Niners schedule, and then people feel so bad about them that they don't feel good about the schedule anymore. Not so bad, but you know what I'm saying? Like the schedule stuff has kind of subsided. And understandably, I mean, even Kittle on Richard Sherman's podcast said, like, easy schedule. Is there such a thing in the NFL? To me, forget about the schedule for a second and just think about the quarterbacks. Like, that's where sacks come. If you tell me I think, the Seahawks line they're going to run the ball. They've got a good offensive line. Put me down for one Bosa sack week 1. Lock. Saints, put me down for 1.5 Bosa sacks week 2. Kyler, week 4, put me down for another Bosa sack. This is what you wanted to go win game by game wins. Can you?
Yeah.
Let's go week by week Bosa sacks. Okay. So week 1, I got 1. Week 2, I got 1.5. Week 3, I got none. Week 4, I got 1. Week 5, the Rams. Does he get sacks against the Rams? I'm gonna go none. But Stafford, somebody gets Stafford, but I'll go none. Bucks. Hold on, I gotta make sure this adds up at the end. 3 against the Colts on December 22nd.
Okay.
Put me down for a flurry at the end of the year. Like 1.5 against Tennessee, 3 against the Colts, 2 against the Bears. Bosa's going to be hot in December. Yeah.
Perfect.
The Browns, God only knows. But yeah, give me 1 against the Browns. And Jackson Dart, give me good luck on this math here. I'm just jumping all over the place. But this feels like what I'm saying, because I was going to say give me like 1 against the Giants. That feels, whatever I just said, feels like it adds up to 12 or something.
He needs to produce more than he did last season. He needs to get home a little bit more, and hopefully he can do that this year, because I mean, maybe is it Bryce Huff going to be getting double-digit sacks or close to that? Is it Mike Hell?
I mean, give
seven.
That's exactly the number. That feels good. Honestly, for a rookie, for Mike Hell, if you told me 6.5, I'd feel pretty good about that. Would you?
Totally.
You go 11th pick. You know who the reviews are just. I texted Daniel Jeremiah. Do you remember? Didn't DJ at one point? Did DJ's last mock? Did he do Mike Hell or did he do Gray Zabel? But I texted him like, you were on Gray Zabel. Remember, we talked about it. Like, is it crazy to draft a guard at 11? Like, could you trade back and take Gray Zabel at 18? The reviews are in on Gray Zabel so far in training camp. He's killing it.
It was Zabel the day before.
Yeah. Okay. So that was
or whatever.
Yeah. Anyway. Comment here, super chat from Captain Kilo. Thank you for the super chat. Last time the Niners had a good rushing attack is when Kyle used 3 backs: Mostert, Coleman, Wilson. That was get back to 2019. The Niners ran for 2,166 yards in 2019, 4.3 yards per attempt. It was almost exactly a 2-to-1 pass yards to rush yards ratio. But they were almost 1-to-1 pass attempts to rush yards, to rush attempts, excuse me. So I don't know how that compares to, I mean, we could go through it. That was about the same in 22, although he said 19, so I must have been looking at the wrong year there. Pass and rush, 23. That year they ran the ball more, play with the lead, you're going to run it more. What was 19's number? I'll just give you this and then we'll move on. 498. Yeah, 20 more. That was a big discrepancy for them. Plus 20 rush attempts to pass attempts. Would you rather have Bosa have more sacks against Rattler or Shuck? I don't think it matters.
Either.
Yes. I'm sorry. Would he have more? Would he have more? Good question. Right. Well, I mean, that'd be Shuck's first start.
Probably Shuck.
So Shuck. I'd say Shuck just because it's his first time in an NFL game. Bunch of Niner fans be kind of rattled. Be like, why is it so loud?
Yeah.
Home game. So, yeah. What about Connor? Any takes from you? Forget about asking me questions. Producer Connor has takes. Big article coming out tomorrow.
Yeah, no.
Have you written it yet?
Got the framework.
You're on deadline.
Live in PGA. Got the framework in place. But no, I mean, I think this team. I kept looking at stats and it's just. We talked about it. It's red zone efficiency and D-line, etc. But also the other thing is turnover. They were 6th worse in the turnover battle in that margin last year. In 2023, they were 8th. 2022, they were 1st, plus 12. And so it is a little bit of everything. And so with a big rookie class, can you get more turnovers too? It's not just one thing. You kind of keep peeling this back, and it's every single thing. Red zone turnovers, everything has to work for them to make a deep run. But I don't know, our 49ers fans, is it, like you said, NFC championship or miss playoffs? But what is the actual expectations? Is this
feels like it's
is it elevated high back to the Super Bowl? It feels like the national media is off the Niners, which is nice.
It feels like people are off them as a Super Bowl contender, like a true, that's what it feels like. That's when I'm in the streets. But I want to say, I even you rattled off all those things they need to do better. To me, it still comes back to stopping the run and scoring in the red zone, because why don't you get turnovers? Well, because last year teams are throwing the ball way less against you.
Totally. Yeah.
It's just those two things. Stop the run and score touchdowns in the red zone. You're in the red zone, you might as well.
Just score. Hey, maybe they'll go for it on 4th down now. They don't have a punter. So maybe that's Shanahan's plan is just to go for the 4 downs to do it.
This is another repeat of something I said the other day. But going down to the field pregame the other day, I don't want to overdo special teams coverage. If you go to a game, I would encourage you, like, walk as low as you can pregame and watch Thomas Morstead punt the ball. The way the ball moves does not come across on television. It is crazy. And even I think if you're sitting higher, you can't. Like, once I went up to the booth, it's harder to tell. But when you're field level and you can see the ball, what appears to be the ball's trajectory and then what actually happens to the ball because of the way he kicks it. And he has all these different kicks. It's like a pitcher. But the one that he did repeatedly pregame on Saturday was it looks like he's kicking it off to the right. So like even if he's in the middle, it's like fading off to the right hash. And it rises, and then as it reaches the apex, it like takes a dramatic sharp turn down, almost like it completely loses steam and just falls out of the sky. Instead of continuing on what looks to be, like it goes up, it peaks, and it continues back. My physics grade was C+, but maybe it was a B. But it was because my grandpa helped me. He had my textbook. He was a physics guy. But you know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy. So anyway, he's actually kind of like a good weapon. And then can I tell you one other thing? Speaking of special teams while we're here, the long snapper.
Yes.
I wanted so badly to get this in the preseason, and I didn't get it in. And so will I get it in? I don't know if I'll get it in, so I'm just going to get it in here. Okay. John Weeks, 39 years old, 17th year in the league. He played football at Baylor. Wanted to play in the NFL, so he tried out for the Lions in 2008. They weren't interested. So he went on to his next career. He was a firefighter in training, and he was working as a hospital CAT scan assistant. He would try and firefight and then graveyard shift hospital. He was the CAT scan assistant in 2009 on duty. Jake Delhomme, Panthers, Cardinals. Jake Delhomme has like a big chest injury. They take him in for the CAT scan. It's John Weeks. 2 years later, he's back he finally gets another tryout. He's a long snapper. He gets a job. He's on the Cardinals, and Jake Delhomme is his teammate. That's insane. So there you go, John Weeks.
That's one of those just cool sports stories.
Yeah, you can see how that was hard to get in during a preseason game. Even in a preseason game, that was
Jake Delhomme.
yeah. And speaking of Jake Delhomme,
John Weeks, Scott. The 49ers, I looked up the average age, and they're middle of the pack now at average 26.8 or something like that. I don't know if that includes John Weeks or if that's filtered out.
Well, Weeks and Morstead, they're both 39. Oh, yeah. They're 78 years old combined.
Can't include those in that, but Niners are younger, and that's going to be a big test this season, all season long.
Mike says first 7 games are Seahawks, Saints, Cardinals, Jags, Rams, Bucks, Falcons. And obviously we know Seahawks is on the road, Saints is on the road, Rams is on the road, Bucks is on the road, Falcons is Sunday Night Football. 5, are we looking at 5-2 or better?
Perfect time for your win-loss season.
Yeah, I'm not going to do the whole thing right now, but I think the floor there is 4-3. 5-2 feels like, I think a few things go well, 5-2 feels good. If it's 6-1, great. But I'll believe Matthew Stafford's not playing when I see it. At the Bucks, a tough trip. Cardinals are always never a pain.
Easy. Yeah.
Beat the Saints. I think it feels like a lot of people. Niners are favored. Feels like a lot of people are picking the Seahawks week 1.
Great. Good.
I like them. I like give me the Niners.
The thing about the
So-
early schedule with it's sort of a gauntlet, also propelled by injuries. But in the 49ers on week 12, after they go to the Cardinals, week 11, week 12, home against Carolina, at Cleveland, bye week, home against Tennessee, at Indianapolis, and then at Chicago. So a lot of young quarterbacks in there with a bye week. That feels like a nice kind of like maybe get right quarter to finish the season. And so if you can kind of survive as the 49ers, that first portion with the injuries, 4-3 would they'd probably sign that up right now. That's a really strong finish as far as
You think you'd sign up for?
quarterbacks.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Like, it doesn't feel like anyone would sign up for 4-3, but just given
I don't know, at Tampa Bay,
all the unknowns with injuries right now. But like, what three? Like,
can Moody make a kick in crunch time? I don't know. Like, it's just,
let's say you're 2-0, you lose at home to the Cardinals, you beat the Jags. Like, all right, fine.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
All right. Did I miss any super chats?
One here.
Will you be in the?
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay.
We'll get back to that one. We'll get back.
Yep. Okay. No other super chats.
All right. Good. Good work. So tomorrow, Substack. Joe, is there an E on Joe in this case?
Not the. It's just JOCO.
JOCO. Joko show?
Correct. Yeah.
Do I got to go .substack.com or just .com? You're not even sure.
I don't even know.
Substack.com/@Joko show.
Yeah.
Have you been? Wait a second. Wait, there's another article here. You co-wrote an article, Connor. You got to keep me up to speed. What? I guess I'm subscribed now.
There you go. That's how you get caught up. To
There's
speed.
There's no paywall here, right?
No, not yet.
Okay, not yet.
Look good.
It's like the SF standard. You get the people hooked, and then all right. Well, look forward to that.
Paywall.
No paywall. That's right. All right, let's go. I'm gonna go watch some high school hype videos on YouTube. And right on time.
Perfect.
The dryer's done. Anybody with a Samsung understands this thing. It goes on forever. Samsung dryer and washer has two settings: off or 10-minute ice cream truck song. Those are the only two options. All right. On that note,